Welcome to the Nightly News with your hosts, Allison and Lydia.
Hello and welcome to the Nightly News. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Lydia.
And I'm Allison. On today's program, we will be sharing with you some of the things that have been going on here at PRHS, including college applications, sports, fashion, and many other interesting topics.
To get things started, we're going to hear from Renee about the college application process.
Students at Pullman Regional High School are about to embark on potentially the most stressful aspect of their academic careers. Naturally, they have many questions regarding where to go and how to get there. Thankfully, the Common Application alleviates most of them.
I think the Common App is super beneficial because students aren't doing 5, 6, 7, 8 different applications. They can basically do one application, at least the main part of the application, which saves them a lot of time, and then they can spend a little bit more time working on supplements.
Is beneficial. I see the value in it since a lot of the schools use it.
An important part of the Common Application is the essay.
Is to think of two things: something that's personal and something that's unique.
Take your time on the essay. That's pretty important.
The college application process doesn't just involve your senior year, it includes your entire high school career. This is reflected through college recommendations.
Were they a good student? Were they personable? Were they nice? Were they helpful with other students? Those are all really important things to me when looking at it. If a student was mediocre at this and that and not really a strong student, then they get kind of my mediocre recommendation. If they were a strong student, then I write something more personable and potentially a much better recommendation.
One is the typical academic ability. Number two is who they are as a member of this community, like co-curricular. And the third, I would say, is who they are as a person. In other words, their character. Are they the type of person who's going to, just by their presence, make a college student body better? Things like integrity, compassion.
Picking a college isn't just about how, but where.
Location, size, private, public, clubs, activities on schools, obviously major's a big one.
Try and apply outside your comfort zone. And also know what you're comfortable with school-wise. Do you want a small school where you will definitely be noticed and people will see you, or do you want to kind of blend in and be in a big school and not be part of kind of a real small community?
The college app process is tedious but necessary. This is Renee Reed for WPRH.
Thanks for that report, Renee. It's very helpful information to know as we are going through this stressful college application process. One thing that always helps me relieve stress is supporting the PRHS sports teams.
That works for me too. And Pullman sports are pretty fun to watch. Let's go now to Allison for coverage on the girls JV soccer team.
At PRHS, athletes know the value of teamwork and how hard work leads to success. The JV girls soccer team specifically share their insights on what their team and hard work means to them.
Soccer is important to me because I like to play on a team, and team is important to me because just playing with my friends is fun and I get exercise that way.
It's really nice because you get a really good sense of community and a really nice idea of what it's like to have extra people there to support you, and it just feels good walking around school like, yeah, I play soccer with a team of girls.
Some of the pros is that we are working as a team, we're getting to know each other better by playing with each other.
Well, I really like soccer because I just love it so much. I really like playing goalie and just diving on the ground and being aggressive. That's just so much fun to me. And it's the sport right before indoor track, so it helps me get ready.
I think soccer makes me a better person because I get to play on a team and the team has to work together.
Well, it helps me definitely get into shape for indoor track. In the summer, I'm not in the best of shape. And then soccer season comes around and then I start feeling myself get more muscles and just being able to run farther.
Practice is a lot of running, but I think that's good because then it gets us in shape for the better teams that we play.
You kind of just have to let it go for the time being. Maybe take it up with the ref after. But if there's bad stuff going on, then you can't like let it get to you. You can't like let that happen. You can't get angry because you'll get carded.
And cons are that sometimes games don't go how we want them to, but we also just learn from our mistakes.
In conclusion, Poland Regional High School athletes care a lot about teamwork and working hard. If you ever get a chance, try to go watch one of the JV girls' games.
Thanks for that update, Allison. If you enjoy the sea more than the land, then this next segment is for you. We'll go now to Renee for a brief story on coral reefs, a topic of interest for many students here at PRHS.
Hi, I'm Renee Reed, and I'm here to talk to you about the coral reef crisis. Currently, over a quarter of the coral that resides on the ocean floor has been destroyed due to factors such as global warming, the greenhouse effect, pollution, the ozone layer, and even bad fishing methods. So keep in mind that the decisions you make in everyday life can affect the deep blue sea.
That was awesome, Renee. Thanks for that story. Going back to stories on PRHS, fashion and the dress code are always on the teachers' and students' minds. Let's go now to Hope for a story on student fashion.
Although school is a place of education and learning, fashion and tattoos also coincide with teens and young adults' abilities to learn. When are looks a distraction, and are they part of a fad, or do they make up a personality?
I think tattoos are a way to like express yourself and what you're into and like who you care about. And fashion is like an expression of like who you are. Yeah.
I think that tattoos are definitely an expression. I suppose they could be used as a way to hide if you completely covered or your body completely, and then maybe that would be something considered like that. But I think they're mostly an expression. They kind of tell a part of you that maybe you're willing to visually share with people. It tells a story most of the time.
Fashion a lot of times is people use it for approval, either from their peers or friends or maybe even for themselves. I think it's a way to fit in.
With makeup being a way to self-express, when is fashion, makeup, and tattoos just too much? Is there really such thing as too much makeup?
Yeah, if you have like black rings around your eyeballs, then I think that's a little too much.
I think that's for you to decide if you want to come in with a clown face. I don't know. Maybe that's how that's your expression as well.
So if you can like take a paper towel and like go like this and orange stuff comes off, that's way too much. I mean, some people, it might give them confidence, and if that gives you confidence and is going to help you learn successfully in a school environment, then do what you need to do.
Does the dress code interfere with self-expression?
Well, the dress code is kind of like, in some ways, ridiculous. Like, you can't wear anything like thinner than 2 inches, and it's not like anybody's going to be like, oh dang, that's a nice shoulder there. But I think like you should be able to wear what you want as long as it's like not showing off your genitalia.
I think that things, since this is going to sound like I'm 40, but since I was younger, I think that things have gotten shorter and maybe less clothing.
Even though tattoos and fashion can be a small distraction, the dress code of the school does not eliminate them, and they can be used to show personality to each student.
Thanks for the check-in, Hope. It's good to know we can express ourselves at school without inhibiting the working environment. On a different note, we're now going to check in with Lydia about students balancing work and school.
I'm Lydia Shiraz reporting from Poland Regional High School, and today we're talking about should students work during the school year.
I think students get jobs because they're so worried about paying for college. I mean, it's so ridiculous to pay for college nowadays, and there are other expenses. Like, I know I personally got a job so I could help support my family because my sister went to college, and there's so much debt going into that. And I mean, it would be a lot better to save up some money to go to college.
I find that short-sighted because in the end, money that students can earn with a high school diploma is going to far exceed the money that students would earn without. And if a student is choosing to neglect schoolwork in order to earn a paycheck at what's often a minimum wage. I think that that can damage the student's earning potential in the
I
future.
don't really have a lot of time to like mess around, you know? Like I have to go home, like if I know I have a half hour to do work before I have to go to work, you know, do homework before, then I have to sit down and focus rather than messing around with other things.
We make room for school. It's on the priority.
You can tell someone that if you do better in school, you're gonna get more money for college, but I mean, it's less tangible than working and getting money. And I feel like a lot of teenagers also want to feel like they're part of it.
A job on top of school because it becomes a routine. It's part of my life. In my career, you make it part.
But in the end, I think that it's a maturing experience. I think it's perfectly acceptable for students as long as they learn that there are competing priorities and they need to find.
Even though working during the school year seems to have its negative effects on students, it also seems to be a natural part of high school.
Thanks for that story, Lydia. Student life is all about balancing activities. This year, the students have struggled with balancing schoolwork with adapting to the new iPads. Let's go now to Katie for a poem about technology and homework.
My Computer Ate My Homework by Ken Nesbitt. My computer ate my homework. Yes, it's troublesome but true. Though it didn't gnaw or nibble, and it didn't chomp or chew. It digested it completely. It consumed my homework whole when I pressed the Shift and Enter keys instead of Shift Control. It devoured my hours of typing, every picture, chart, and graph, and it left me most unsettled when I thought I heard it laugh. I would guess it was a virus, or it could have been a worm, that deleted every bit but didn't prompt me to confirm. I suppose I might have pressed Escape instead of pressing Save, but regardless, my computer now will never misbehave. For I found a good solution, and I smiled to hear the crash when I chucked it out the window and it landed in the trash.
Thanks, Katie. We all have experienced struggles with homework. More of balancing students' life. Let's go now to Nate and Quinn for a story on balancing work and sports.
Sports not only helps people become more social, more athletic, and more fit, but it also crafts us to do our very best, not only on the field, but in school.
But don't take it from us, take it from our coaches.
Action. So in your opinion, how do you think sports affects the students' work habits?
Either they're students that will only do their work because they want to keep playing sports. So in order to have their carrot, they have to earn it.
How often does your work go down when you have a game?
When I have a game, I have less time to do work, but I still try my best to do quality work.
Sports craft you to do your best in school.
I think sports contribute to being a well-rounded person, and I know a lot of colleges accept well-rounded students.
How much do you believe that sports takes a hit on your work?
It does a little bit because when I'm worried about sports, I can't think clearly enough to do my work. But at the same time, it's a lot of fun and makes me a better person.
How do you think that sports affects the students' grades?
I don't know that sports affect a student's grades. Some of the research that we find suggests that participation in sports actually helps to improve a student's grades because they have less time to put things off and they need to get to it.
Thanks, guys. It's always fun to check out PRHS sports. For more on our sports teams, let's go now to Caleb talking about winter sports.
Hi, my name is Caleb Ridgel. I'm here with WPRHS. We're here to talk to you about winter sports success.
I think one that we miss out a lot on, and I think it's because of just the day and age that we live in, and that is trying to get kids to eat healthy and to properly hydrate. And then the other thing is, so we've talked about proper training, proper nutrition, and I think good communication is really, really important.
It is important for there to be a relay of information between coaches and captains. That way the captains can tell the people the coach might not be able to talk to.
It's
See, team captains help keep the whole team on the same page, especially because oftentimes coaches aren't usually around the kids all day at school. Having a team captain in the school, being able to contact all the kids on the team easily is definitely necessary.
I'd say the benefit is, to bring leadership. You got to have a role model, and it's important for everyone to look up to you. So if you lead by example, you're going to be a good captain, and you'll teach the other kids, and hopefully they'll follow in your footsteps. Preparation, like coming into the season, you got to be in shape. It's really important to keeping your muscles healthy and not getting injuries.
While being healthy and working hard in the off season is always a good thing, if your grades aren't up and you're ineligible, all that work will be for nothing.
Making sure that all of my kids stay academically eligible all year, that's a measure. It's something to measure success with.
School sports, you have to make sure that obviously you're playing for the high school, so school definitely has to come first in that aspect. If you don't get your schoolwork done, you won't be able to play.
There are many ways to define success.
Listen, when you play a game, inherently there's a winner and a loser. So that's how a lot of folks measure that. And honestly, hey, I want some gold balls to come to Poland Regional. I mean, that would be awesome. And that's the ultimate goal when you play a game. But there are also other goals interwoven into that.
I believe that you should play your best players all the time. You may have to rotate a little weaker player in and out every once in a while, but to maintain success, you're going to have to play your best players. And your players who are weaker, they need to get better in practice so they can keep up with the game competition.
Incorporating these ideas will ensure a successful winter sport program. Thank you. My name is Caleb Bridgham from WPRH.
Thanks, Caleb. Our sports teams are looking pretty good this year. Thank you for joining us today on the Nightly News. I'm Lydia.
And I'm Allison. We hope you enjoyed diving into the student life here at PRHS today. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.
Thanks for watching the Nightly News. Have a nice day.